Let's talk about this. All right. I uploaded a video regarding this topic months ago, but I didn't really. I uploaded it and then I deleted it because I didn't feel like I really captured the essence of everything that I wanted to say. So I took it down. I still have it, but I took it down off of YouTube. And as these past events have been unfolding and more is getting revealed on this campaign, it just more so reinforces my belief. And I'm not going to call it a theory, but reinforces my opinion on what's going on regarding Asia Wilson and Nike. Now, in the video that I released a couple months ago, this was when Nike first launched Asia Wilson's. Of course, she has a shoe type campaign off of the back or off of the heels of the entire Caitlin Clark sneaker free agency, brand free agency fiasco, and people showing Asia Wilson and her accomplishments and not having a shoe, right? And then couple days, I don't know if it was a couple days or maybe a couple weeks later, Nike came out with of course she has a shoe. Y'all think we forgot about Asia Wilson. And I know I'm not the only person that said this, but I was one of the few people that I'm still saying this. Nike, y'all forgot about Asia Wilson. I firmly maintain that Nike forgot about Asia Wilson. Nike, as of right now, is playing catch up with Asia Wilson, her sponsorship, and her sneaker line, her signature line. They're playing catch up with Asia Wilson's signature line. Nike, y'all got bullied into actually putting some shit out for Asia because you would have done it from some time. And I know the arguments everyone has been making. I'm going to get into that. But Nike got bullied, bro. The only reason they even started some shit for Asia was because of how it looked with Caitlin Clark coming into the league, her signing with Nike, obviously lining up a signature shoe and whatnot. That's the only reason Nike even made moves for Asia. And you really can't convince me otherwise. In this video, I'm going to explain to y'all why I think this way and why I think I'm right. Because it's not just my opinion on certain things. It's just observing. And as a fan of the NBA and fan of the WNBA, you get to, not saying that everything has to be the same or everything has to mirror the NBA, but you understand how certain shit works and you understand what's not given to the WNBA. And part of my problem, especially when it comes to shoe deals, especially in the WNBA, this shit doesn't make sense to me. I know everyone likes to talk about the WNBA's marketing and the WNBA doesn't promote their players as well as they should. Sure, I agree with that to an extent, right? But what we forget a lot of the time is marketing is a two-way street. So when we talk about the WNBA and its marketing, you have to talk about, if you're going to put that on one side of the street, you have to put these media companies and sports media companies on the other side of the street because, okay, let's say that WNBA is not marketing as well. These media companies can market the WNBA. They don't do that. So that's why Monica McNutt had to get on Stephen A. ass about, you could have been covering the WNBA. If there was a segment on First Take where they'd cover WNBA and they'd cover the hottest topics in the WNBA, or not even just the hottest topics, some of the smaller topics as well, then now you're giving you're giving these players some of the media spotlight, and you're also helping the marketing. So it's a two-way street. So with these brands and shoe deals, especially in the WNBA, we see in the NBA there are players that can get a shoe deal, and really their resume only stacks up to maybe a couple of all-star nods. Maybe they're just a highly touted draft pick, kind of like a Zion Williamson. You already knew he was going to get a shoe deal, same way how we knew Caitlin Clark was going to get a shoe deal. So it's weird that in the NBA, we can see players that, they're doing their thing. They're not all champions and MVPs and whatnot. But when it comes to the WNBA, when it comes to women's basketball, these brands tend to just stay back and not give any of these players shoe deals. And then the argument that always gets made is, oh, who has the biggest fan base? Sometimes we have to remember it's not all just about if a player is marketable or not. Marketing is a two-way street, right? So let's say WNBA marketing. On one side, you have the WNBA marketing. On the other side, you have media, sports media. You have these sponsors, these brands, these sports brands. They can market players. They can take players whether they want to market or not. It's the same thing. It's the same thing sponsors and And companies do all the time. They look at a player, they look at their marketability, sure, but they look at their accomplishments. They look at the stats. They see, okay, does this player kind of match our brand? And they'll go get that player, put the shoe with them, put the signature line campaign with them, and boom, now they're a household name. So it's like, oh, who's this person? Oh, she's a skier. Who's this person? Oh, she plays tennis. And that's how you can basically change marketing. It doesn't necessarily start with the player sometimes, or the athlete, if you will. Sometimes it starts with the company. So this weird notion that when I look at the WNBA and I see all these players accomplished, you could get like a Satu Sabali, you could get an all-star like Benaja Laney, you can get someone like Nafisa Collier. These players are accomplished and they're doing their thing. And we've seen players that have accomplished less get shoe deals. So the whole shoe deal like game and situation in the WNBA is kind of backwards, which is what prompts me to speak about this situation, because I've been calling out Nike and I'll continue to call out Nike because this isn't anything new to me. I've been following the WNBA for a while. I've been following the NBA for a while. I know how shit runs in the WNBA. So when Nike tries to pull, or any company tries to pull this slick shit, it's like, nah, you're not gonna fool me with that one. Like, you can fool other people who just started following the WNBA, or other people who just believe everything an athlete says. But you're not going to fool me, because like, I've been observing how y'all move when it comes to women's sports, and how y'all move, especially when it comes to WNBA players. So this shit isn't a surprise to me. I want to give a couple of reasons why I call cap on this entire A'ja Wilson line. Not that I call cap on it. I call cap on the fact that Nike says they didn't forget about A'ja. I'm going to give y'all a couple of reasons why I believe and why I know they clearly forgot about A'ja Wilson. And let me just say this first. A'ja can't say anything differently. You get that? Do you understand? Like, A'ja can't say anything differently about Nike, because she's their athlete. She sponsors. That's her sponsor. She basically has to fall in line with that. In a way, Nike has A'ja Wilson hostage. Like, A'ja can't sit there and be like, yeah, Nike didn't tell me anything about getting a shoe. They didn't tell me anything about my signature line. I don't know when it's dropping. Whatever. Like, A'ja can't say, yo, Nike's fucking up. They're not giving me shit. I don't know what the design is. I think the logo's weak. She can't come out and say that. She has to defend it. She has to stand by it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what her Nike contract is, but I swear if she was toward the ends of it, I think you'd hear her be a little bit more raw and more detailed with what's going on in terms of her relationship with Nike. I have this belief that when her deal with Nike is up, whenever that is, I feel like she's going to take her ass to Adidas with Candace Parker. But anyway, the first reason I call bullcrap on this entire Nike A'ja situation is because of the very first campaign they put out with A'ja Wilson. Her first campaign for her signature line, the first we've ever seen anything A'ja related in terms of her signature line from Nike. What was the campaign? It was a campaign against the backlash Nike got for Caitlin Clark and her whole signature shoe deal, making Nike look bad. Now, I was on social media talking to someone on Instagram, and they were saying, and A'ja liked her comment too, and she said something like, nah, I'll put the comment somewhere up on screen, but she basically said, nah, A'ja and Nike have been working on it for some time. All right, working on it for some time. If they're working on it, this is why I call cap on this entire thing. If they're working on it for some time, why is the very first campaign for anything A'ja related in response to backlash? If they had something in the works, that means their very first campaign could have been something else. It could have been like a be different. Like, think of Anthony Edwards' campaign with Adidas. What's his slogan for his campaign for the AE1? What was his slogan? Oh, believe that, right? Believe that, right? That's your first campaign for Anthony Edwards and his AE1. You're telling me what you came up with, what you've been working on for some time was, and of course, A'ja Wilson has a shoe.com. That was the campaign. So if Caitlin was still in college and we weren't hearing anything about a shoe deal, the first campaign you would have dropped for A'ja Wilson would have been, of course, A'ja Wilson has a shoe. Did, does that sound? Does that even sound believable? Your first campaign is a response. So that just lets me know you didn't really have anything cooking. That's one of the first reasons I know you didn't really have anything cooking. The second reason I can tell y'all why Nike ain't got shit shook with A'ja Wilson is her release date for her shoe. Her release date is 2025. I swear this is the biggest reason. If y'all not going to believe anything I say, at least think about this reason. 2025 is the release date for her shoe and for her signature line. Does that sound like Nike has had some shit in the works for some time? If y'all believe that shit, I don't know what to tell you. If you all believe that 2025 is the release date, so think of this. The entire 2024 WNBA season is going to pass. Olympic season is going to pass. Olympic, you could have her shoe on in the Olympics. That marketing, the Olympics, women's basketball, this entire WNBA season where she's on a quest to three-peat, and you don't have her signature shoe ready for this year. It could be later in the year, right before the playoffs. Now, let me say this. I'm not sure if 2025 is like a safety date and they might drop it in the 2024 season. But let's say that 2025 date is true. You're missing the entire you're missing the entire WNBA season and Olympic season. So you're missing two chances, basically, two pretty big chances, two pretty big situations to market A'ja Wilson's signature line. That is trying to buy yourself time. 2025 is trying to buy yourself time. She just went back-to-back. She just became a back-to-back WNBA champion and WNBA Finals MVP. Her shoe, if some shit was in the works for some time, her shoe would have been dropping this season. Off of a back-to-back, off of a basically stolen MVP year, off of a DPOY year, her shoe would have been dropping this season. And if you think about it, if her shoe's dropping in 2025, Sabrina Ionescu might have 3 editions of her signature shoe. Caitlin Clark might have the first edition of her signature shoe by the time A'ja Wilson's shoe drops in 2025. And notice they didn't give us any season. They said 2025. They didn't say spring, they didn't say summer, they didn't say fall, they didn't say winter. They said 2025. Nike is trying to buy themselves time because they don't have anything for fucking A'ja Wilson. And when I mean don't have anything, I don't mean her logo and stuff like they're not working on the shit now, but they didn't have anything. Another reason I call bull on this entire campaign is her logo. Now, I know she got into it, A'ja Wilson got into it with a couple of podcasters at Just Women's Sports, and I'll make that a different video because I feel like there's another topic to cover in that video, something that I've hinted at before. But A'ja Wilson's logo. Again, if you don't want to believe me with the original campaign rollout, if you don't want to believe me with the 2025 release date, maybe you might believe me when it comes to this logo. And I will put it up on the screen. This shit looks like a doodle bob. Someone said this shit looked like a vertebrae. Now, past all the roast, I can see the design. Like when I saw it on her chain, when I saw it on her arm sleeve or shooting sleeve, I could see it a little bit more clearly. Okay, so I kind of see the A, I see the star. Cool, I can see it. But your logo should not be that hard to fucking see. It should not be that hard to decipher. That looks like a rushed logo. You get what I'm saying? All this shit looks rushed. It doesn't look prepared. It doesn't look finessed. It doesn't look refined. All of this looks rushed. Believe what you want to believe, but there's no way y'all see all these things and just think, oh yeah, Nike's doing a great job. Nike's been preparing. This looks like something that's been in the works for years. This looks like they got started right after 2019. That's bullshit, bruh. That's bullshit, bruh. Don't look at this logo and tell me that shit doesn't look rushed. Maybe it's a bad logo. Maybe it's a bad drawing. But all you need to do is some simple tweaks to this. I'm no graphic designer. I'm no artist. I suck at art. I'm no visual artist or nothing like that. But all you need to do is tweak this logo just a little bit, make the one a little less blocky, and maybe the shit would look like an A. But you have all these years, according to y'all, according to Asia, it's been in the works for some time, and the logo looks like that. This next reason is something that I find really, really funny and really stupid at the same time. It's this belief that Asia had to be quiet or she couldn't say anything about her signature line dropping. First off, she had an interview on All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes asked her about her signature line. I'm not sure if I can share this video without getting copyrighted, so I'll drop the link in the description. You guys can watch it for yourself. If I can find a clip, I'll put it in the video now.
No way you shouldn't have a signature shoe. Even the King himself said that you should have a signature shoe and it's on the way. How do you feel about that?
Obviously, I would love a shoe. I would love to have
Nobody
young
deserves
people.
it more in the WNBA than you.
And I appreciate that, but you know, work's never done. We
Yeah.
got to continue to grow, continue
Politics.
to shatter through this glass ceiling. But I'm never gonna let up. Never gonna always have an opportunity to get better. But yeah, hopefully one day I could be wearing my own shoe, and the next
coming.
person could be wearing them, and the next one, and we can
Yep,
grow
my
from
daughter's
there.
playing basketball. She'll definitely gonna have.
Answer Asia Wilson gave back didn't sound like the company was doing anything for Asia. Like the way she responded, she was just like, oh, maybe it's there, maybe it's not there, you know, like hopefully. It was basically like, I'm hoping to get a signature shoe. Like I'm hoping to get a signature line soon. That's what her response kind of like. That's the attitude I got from her response. And now there's this thing that, oh, she had to be quiet. She couldn't speak on everything because the shoe was in the works, because they were developing and stuff. That never happened. That never happened. Since when are marketers or since when are advertisers trying to be quiet about a release? You know what I'm saying? It's not about being quiet where you don't say anything, but usually it's glimpse, it's step by step, right? If an NBA player has a new shoe dropping, a signature edition dropping, usually that company will send them a blacked out shoe. Let's take like a Kyrie 3 or Kyrie 4. They'll send them a blacked out shoe, so when they're in practice and all the cameras are going off like that, everyone's just like, oh, is this the new shoe? Is this the prototype? Whatever. They give glimpses, right? With Anthony Edwards' campaign, they gave glimpses of the AE1 before they showed the entire shoe. So I don't know what this new WNBA fan type mentality or type thinking is, where she had to be, everyone believes or says that, oh, she had to be quiet and she had to keep it on the down low about the works of her signature line. That's BS. No, you don't hide. None of that is a quiet thing. Like that's never been something where people like keep that hush hush. I saw one comment, someone commented to Asia, just like, oh my gosh, it must have been so hard trying to keep this quiet and try to keep this on the down low because you didn't want people thinking. I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Asia can't go against Nike. She can't say anything is wrong. She can't say anything. She's basically being held hostage. And Asia's over there sitting there agreeing with her. And I'm just like, bro, think for yourself. She can't say anything's wrong. Imagine Asia's just like, oh, I don't know, like my campaign is a train wreck right now. She can't say that. So this belief that the marketing campaign had to be quiet, if y'all believe that, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just another reason I'm just like, since when do they do that? As I was communicating with this woman about, you know, Asia Wilson's shoe and Nike getting bullied into campaigning for or promoting Asia Wilson's manager liked my comment where I called BS on Nike having her shit in the works for some time. Asia Wilson's manager liked my comment. Now, I'm not even the type of person to be like, oh, she liked my comment, I'm right about everything. But fuck, it could be a mistake, shit. But at the same time, I don't think it is a mistake. One, because there are all these comments, and out of all those comments, she was the only person that liked my comment, and that's her manager, aka her mother, Asia Wilson's mother liked my comment calling BS on Nike's promotion of her signature line. Asia Wilson's manager, aka her mother, liked my comment. Okay? I swear I could end the argument right there. I rest my case, Yana. I could end that argument right there. So all that did was tell me I know I'm not wrong. What that told me, what her liking my comment told me, I know I'm not wrong. I know I'm not reaching right now. Those are all my reasons and why I believe Nike is bullshitting with Asia Wilson. You all let me know what you think in the comments. I know it's a lengthy ass video, but I wanted to put it out there because the shit really actually pisses me off. I hate when these companies neglect, the women's side of the game and just act like these women aren't balling. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with you being the first to market that player. Marketing is a two-way street.